Disappointing.
We can talk about it. Yeah.
I had high hopes after the first half.
Big Ferrari master plan again.
No, the Alpha Tauri master plan.
That as well. Yeah, maybe Tsunoda wants to get that Red Bull seat.
Yeah, he's better chances now. Man, like, was really disappointing the end. I really hope for an interesting battle between Mercedes and Verstappen in the end.
It's
Like,
very
I still
good
think
that
Verstappen would have won, but it would have been better at least.
Hamilton was so dumb. Like, why did he accelerate at the end of the safety car so early on the straight? I would have accelerated right before the line. I mean, he
Yeah, I
would
don't
have
think it
gotten
matters.
overtaken in the end anyway. Like, he would have not been able to keep Verstappen behind.
Hello.
But there it was really dumb
Hello.
to already
Hello?
let him through.
Hello.
Oh, it's raining.
Again.
this
The sun is shining.
It's very good that I literally just finished watching the VOD of Formula 1. Like, I was at like 10 laps left, like 5
But why
minutes
VOD
ago.
at last?
Yeah, I had to. Birthday.
Yours?
Happy birthday!
No. Yeah, my nephew, obviously. 4 years old, or I think 4 years at least, I'm not sure.
Wow.
Man,
Good
yeah,
angle, man.
all the same. But yeah, it was. I had to skip through a little bit because I thought, yeah, better I finish that than I come into the
Wait,
street.
is that the finish?
Yeah.
Wait, where the?
It's finished, yeah.
Man, it's gonna be another Div 10 for me. Fucking no walls maps, man.
I'm driving the same map again. Like, I don't know where the finish is, but I'm just on the racetrack again and drive it the second
There
time.
was a red light, like when you go into the same area again.
Especially everything looks the same, so I needed some time to realize.
Yes. It literally everything looks the same.
Yeah.
And too many trees on the inside.
How did 1,500 people see that better than me?
Nah.
You know, red light is finished.
It wasn't that hard to see, I think.
Yeah, probably they respawned in the last checkpoint.
Man, what are those trees on the inside? I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's so annoying, but people do that so often, like, man. I also just can't remember where the fuck I need to go.
Let's see. What is the author metal?
Oh,
39.
I can jump over the car.
I drove wrong somewhere.
This is gonna be tough to find the correct lines for these transitions again.
What the fuck is that song?
I guess I watched it.
I will be so tired. Also, I don't know, the line to the finish seems a bit weird.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, that was the issue for me in the first lap. Like, I mean, I saw the finish there, but the line is just so weird. I did just want to continue.
But the GPS jumps over the car.
I didn't say that's possible.
No, I thought it wasn't. Oh, damn. Why didn't you tell us, Dexter?
No, I didn't.
start already. I just jump and get
Yeah.
airtime.
Excellent.
Yeah, I don't know. A bit weird, this map. And holy shit, that was just 6 minutes.
Hmm?
I came back.
I'm only 41st with that, okay.
Yo, Jason.
I'm really not sure in the start, jumping or not jumping.
Huh.
Probably
Not
jumping.
jumping, not jumping.
Yeah, no, now I had a good attempt.
Yeah, I'm really not getting this thing.
I kinda got it, I don't know how.
As often it's just about the line.
Yeah, I just got tired.
Was the GPS good? Or
It's
I
not,
don't remember, I didn't watch.
It's not bad. It's not nothing too special. It's, I mean, the auto
yeah,
time
I mean the map is really simple.
Oh, that's actually many positions, this improvement, okay.
I can't improve.
Probably not enough yet. I really have no idea where to gain 3/10 on
Dude,
that.
honestly,
It's so close though.
the worst part of the map is the one he reuses. Like,
Yeah, we're allowed to play that twice.
Just not tight enough in that one jump near the beginning.
Yeah. It's also unsmooth.
don't think that my time is safe.
Yeah. People are really improving.
Okay. Yeah, that should be safe.
Roger.
But no, the 38.
Okay. Now I also am more sure that it's enough.
I actually think my time is not safe either now. Gained many positions, but probably not enough.
Should be safe.
Yo, Chris, it will be so fucking tight on this map. Like, what will you need? 0.1?
I have a point 22 and I'm 38, so
Yeah, could be.
that's definitely not enough. Even Mario's time, I don't even know, point 14, I guess.
I'm optimistic.
Yeah, I guess that's around the cutoff maybe even. I'm dropping so quickly now.
Because I'm too lazy for the plugin.
Did she like 2 button presses?
I have the plugin, but it says could not load club.
Yeah, you need to put
Select the
in
club?
you need to put in the ID of our club. I can tell you.
Yeah, but
It's,
2 clicks is more than 0.
That is true.
2164
So
something.
actually 2 clicks and put in 1 ID, so that's more than 2
Yeah,
clicks.
yeah, you need. It's not a click though, right? It's you write a number. Is that
Well, it's
clicking?
even more work. Holy.
I mean, it could also be 2074 clicks if you use the plus and minus.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, nice shortcut with a keyboard.
Still not optimistic with the time, but could be on the edge.
Nachkommen. Get overtaken by my PB twice in a row right at the finish line.
Don't wanna play this.
Was it so boring now?
It's so boring.
I don't get the end, I just randomly lose speeder.
Yeah.
Yeah, the gear change. If you have very good speed, then it's not a problem with the gear change. But in the speed that I have most of the time, there is some annoying gear change right at the last crest.
Yeah. 55th. Oh no.
That's tight.
Like, yeah, points doesn't look enough. Yeah, I definitely have a wrong line though. Oh no. It doesn't feel nice. I can't even finish anymore.
Me neither.
Just got tight everywhere.
That's close.
Seems to work out.
Oh,
Close.
Marius! Literally, you opened your mouth, I lost 6 position.
Hä?
Yeah, there we go.
Another
Another 5.
What? Okay, there was 2 or 3 position losses in the last minute before.
Nah.
Thanks, Marius.
Alright, enjoy your cup, guys.
But how is that not enough?
It's nice to
I
see you.
must be completely wrong. I should have watched the.
Fuck the map, man.
Go beat Röder. Do I need to see the other lines? I don't even think so.
I will watch them, but I'm also not sure if I need them. But maybe the last left turn would be interesting how outside people go.
I absolutely need to. I think I have completely wrong lines. But oh yeah, that's different. Oh, okay.
It's actually not fully tight in all parts, in my opinion. Like the one part in the start. After the weird transition, I go kinda wide for a bit more speed, but go inside, of course, again.
Elcon is pretty inside.
Why? If you want to be inside after the turn, but I go wide before to keep more speed.
I lose a lot in the start. I can say. What a surprise. I'm again surprised that Elcon kept grip in the first spear transition. The way he approached it. But yeah.
Yeah. So by the way, I lost 3/10 in the ending because I had a wrong line there. It's about 3/10. I'm like with them until there. That's unlucky, I guess. Yeah, I was confused with how that thing is shaped. Did the Marius.
My point 14 would have been enough then, I guess, because we were so close with 68th.
Yeah, it's point 16.
Yeah, I know, but
I mean, you
4
were like
positions.
5 positions ahead of me though, with less than 200.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sucks. Yeah, I could have had a point 8 with good end. It's,
But what did you do in then? Some way too tight, or?
yeah, too tight, and then like turning more on the straight. Trying to take it smooth, but that you get it smooth if you just drive straight as well. And also staying lower gear.
Oh yeah, that will be fun.
Do you think that an open planet plugin could be the reason for lags on servers? Some open planet plugin causes that. Today was this endurance race, like spam weekly format, and on that server it is literally the worst. I have literally then, the longer the race goes, laps race, yeah, the worse it gets. At the end of the race, if I make interface on, I have 5 FPS, with interface off I had like 15 FPS. And others do not have any problems. And they tell me they disabled all the open planet plugins. I wonder if that could be the reason. I unloaded some. I'm not sure how you disable them, but I unloaded some. But of course, some I want to use.
Yeah, it must be something with your open planet plugins, because usually you don't really have issues, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you
Just
can try
try.
without open planet, but
Yeah, just try it once, then you see.
Yeah, here I
Otherwise you don't
disabled
know.
now a few, but it's still laggy, so I don't know.
Nice, PB. And why is everybody so far? Yeah,
Yeah.
one mistake and like getting the start transition bad.
I mean, there must be some reason that on a server with many players it gets that bad.
it's probably just the
Because
servers.
you're on a server with many players.
No,
Yeah.
others are also on the server, on the same server. But
Yes,
their
and?
FPS are not dropping that heavily.
Do they have the exact same PC and settings?
Yeah, but earlier it worked. I mean, if you go
And don't go.
months
No,
ago,
no, logic doesn't work in TM. Like the lags are literally random. Oh.
yeah, sometimes they are.
Like I recently played a Cup of the Morning on the same map, and I also played Cup of the Evening, or Cup of the Day. And in the morning I had no lags at all, and in the evening I had a lot of lags. So I expected to be an issue with many players on the server. Because I had everything the same except it was less crowded. So I guess it's the servers.
Well, I guess you need to drive 0.9 if you want to. At least.
Wait, you mean in the time attack then, Chris? Because I mean in the
both TimeAttack and
I mean the knockout you should have same amount of players. So
Yeah,
Nah,
but I don't-
actually, that's the weirdest thing. Now I also realized it often already.
like you know if they run like multiple TimeAttack
Ah, yeah,
servers
yeah,
on the
okay,
same
yeah, true,
on the same
yeah.
physical server,
Yeah.
that might be a problem.
of course.
Like even the cup night and day cup, it's like so different from lag something.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
I don't know. I actually had the feeling that it was also lacking the reruns when it was in evening, like on the same maps. When the map was not that laggy already on the Cup of the Evening, then it was also in the reruns fine.
Maybe it was just coincidence in that case, but for me it was like that. So, I don't play that many Cup of the Morning, so
Anyway, that endurance race thing that I have that experience, that's just too crazy. Like there is something. I also had that in the Sportix Cup from Yannick's when on the server there are like 100 players. Like it does affect me so much more. Somehow.
Like Aircon seems kinda good.
yeah.
Ah shit, Hill survives.
For me it's so hard to keep up the focus on that.
But yeah, Aircon is not a danger. He will.
Dexter,
Good
if you
time.
don't watch out, yeah, Hill overtakes you in trophies in 1 year.
Why?
Alone on the map
Why?
yesterday, he did. Wait, how many trophies? 25 trophies, and he didn't play one rerun.
Did you get the world record done?
Yeah,
Didn't see him before.
sadly he got it. And I was also
Did you
hunting.
beat the .99 or?
I had a .00.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and I also had an 01 and an 02, and then I couldn't anymore.
Yeah.
I'm scared of hitting the fence in the end.
.70. Welcome.
Oh. Like the problem is he
It's
did
a bit
0.8
fast.
before that in every other round.
I watched a video in Kugelstoßen, I don't know the English word for that, but in the last Olympic Games, someone has beaten the old Olympic record in all 6 attempts. never getting achieved anymore, I guess.
Well, it's definitely harder, no?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Stating so obvious. Really important.
Yeah, I mean, I was referring to the video title, because the video title was that this will never happen again. and I also thought, yeah, obviously.
Twice.
In this last attempt, he was then pulling the ball. It sounds wrong to say ball to that, but so far that that's gonna be difficult to be consistent further than that.
Man, why are they all so fast on this shit map?
Shot Putt, yeah, Shot Putt is the name, and it's Ryan Krauser.
Ryan. Is he Australia or what?
No, American.
American.
Yeah, same.
The same.
I don't think anybody will feel offended by that.
Not at all. Oh, I might be out with that one.
Oh.
The worst end I can get.
Man, Chris.
Oh! Huh? So many people failed the end.
Two 2.9s in a row, easy.
Like, I'm getting slower here.
Yeah. I'm a little bit faster now. A bit easier now.
Can you drive the map in reverse? If you just go to the left?
There are jumps though. But you, in theory, you would cut out two straights basically, actually, like in off distance. But doesn't look worth it with all the jumps. But distance-wise would be shorter.
Shortest way only. We need to found the team. It's about time.
Yeah, I was actually looking, but you in TM2 you couldn't really see how many meters you traveled after you finish because like it directly fades away.
Yeah, that sucks. Hey, gone out, okay. Full focus now.
Lars with a chance to get the trophies for ITB.
Yeah. It's so difficult to be consistent here though, in my opinion.
I also had a really shit start last round.
I crashed inside, is that bad?
Crashing is not really good on this map, Chris.
Okay. Not gonna do it next round.
Yeah, that's a problem with crashing. I'm waiting for the one where point 2 will be out now already.
That's the round where I go out. Maybe.
Like it should happen soon in my opinion.
Yeah, we are close. I mean, I was not far away from Red and I was driving a mid-point 3. I don't like that drop here.
Yep.
Never feels great.
At least Chris can teach us now.
Yeah, you have to go faster a little bit there. But that's a super close round actually. Like, extremely close.
Yeah, I told you it's about time that you need a point 2.
Luckily I drove point 2. Oh,
135 was enough. So, easy.
I actually don't know where I lose compared to my seeding time.
You just saved too much.
I blame it on the legs.
Ah, okay. So actually before the jump, you go a little bit more right. I think that's what you were talking about, Dexter.
Yes.
And then you get a really nice line for the right turn after.
I dropped so much in the end.
Like one small mistake and you're done.
That's a typical thing with those maps. 5,000s between orange and red.
Like also there will always be this one where they're all really fast. Mm-hmm.
Ah, nice airtime. Okay. Nice white line. Dexter, I like your lines. They are so bad.
Thank you.
Nice, you need a good end. Yeah.
I really had to try after my start.
Where Dexter had airtime, I was touching the inside, this mountain there, and I was also, I thought it's RIP, but I managed to do 0.2 out of that, so.
Well, like I was last basically in the start, kind of. I was almost the same gap at the end. Like, can I stop?
Marius, you're basically the one who goes the most inside there in that left turn, which is not the fastest, but it works. Oh, that's too close.
Yeah, holy. Yeah, you need a 0.1 low.
That's crazy. Like here in Div 2, like I can still win some rounds with that time.
The thing is, I was 12th. I was 12th in the last turn, and I actually went even for speed, and I still dropped 10 positions. Like, how is this possible?
Yeah, going for speed means you went wide there, and you don't lose any speed if you go inside.
Yeah, but when I went
very
inside, I
elastic.
also lost always position on the finish straight. I really didn't understand that. Yeah, look at how close this field here is. Some people were to inside there. Groß is actually last here. Thomas Shaw is in danger. He should be good on such a map. Ah, he overtook. Yeah.
Night, it's night. Again, 0.9 is not fast here, sadly.
I gonna spectate AR round.
I wonder why.
I wanna see his lines.
I really like the cabby line in the start.
Okay, I hope he doesn't die so that I can watch next round. Took a lot of
Dexter,
speed.
bad speed.
Yeah. That was a bad one. Don't know.
Yeah,
Feels a bit random for me, also my times.
yeah, I also saw you. Like down was behind you and overtook you then and finished straight. Like after the landing, you immediately dropped speed, but I don't know why.
Like the last time was bad, that's what I know a bit before.
An 88.
Yeah, I see Cappy say, okay, yeah, that's the best way.
That's good, yeah.
What is
Yeah,
it?
I was thinking about this, but I saw Elcon's line. And Elcon went really that tight in his seeding PB. Oh, that's also close, man.
You always gotta compare like the top 3. They were within like 200s.
Yeah, I
also
also thought about that, but then I can't focus at all. Because then I have 3 cars and then I don't even see what the car that I'm spectating is doing.
Is he
Like,
going extremely wide and getting a clean landing, or what is he doing?
I mean, the landing is not clean, but he lands super inside.
yeah, super far
And
left.
then,
And
then
with
he
the
can
angle that
approach
he
the
stays
turn.
already inside, yeah, and he's very outside before. Just a bit more extreme.
You have like 2-3 minutes almost now, so you can watch it a little bit. Always.
But I also want to drive in the time.
Oh, you
the waiting
drive?
time.
never
When I'm back
drive
on
in
the
that
server,
time.
I mean.
yeah,
I mean,
I
when I
never
see a
drive.
line, then I also want to drive it before it goes live.
Oh.
Thomas Shaw actually struggles with this, with the first off. He's often here in red, and this time he might not make it into the white positions. Yes, good endings usually. But this is not enough, like, you needed a good time now.
Nice one.
Orange,
I'm not
0.07.
fast enough.
Yeah,
Yeah, go faster, man.
but I don't like to see that down, actually, that low 0.8. Ah. Gonna spectate him again.
You almost needed a 0.2 now. But not quite yet. It's not the highest level.
Also not a surprise to see Loco still in the mix here. Always on these kind of maps is there Bren in danger. Bren is out. The top 7 are so close. Oh, Wuchi! Oh no, that was a mistake! Was it Heath or Xera? One was already behind. Bren actually gets through. That was super lucky for him.
Ooh, 79. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
if you would have been
that's
Div 1, you would have had a chance.
Yeah. I mean, it's still not consistent. I mean, I also do sometimes 0.1 or something.
That
Or
could have been the
sometimes
knockout
still
then in Div 1, however,
Yeah, it's not consistent enough.
Like Orange was a 0.0607 2 rounds ago.
No. But yeah, I mean, I told you I had this wrong line where I lost 3 tenths, so that definitely makes a difference. Like, I was watching the world record as well, and I was thinking, dude, for once again, I lose time, and I don't know why, because it's the same lines, and I looked at my PV, and I was like 500s behind only.
Oh,
So
you
it's right
still
next to it.
survive with auto 0.9.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orange was a 0.00.
But you still...
Yeah, this is one of these typical maps when I get more confidence in the lines and in these transitions, then it goes much better. I'm really slow learner on these maps. Ran with a weak start, a bit behind the field, but battling with Richie, who has white lines in both corners. Well, how does Down have so much speed after he went so
that's
tight
so
in the
close.
corner? Yeah, that was close. Brand again through.
You know, I'm missing a little bit pace.
That's not normal, Dexter.
On these tracks, I think it's...
Yeah, but not usually. We don't
Like
hear that
long
often
that-
that you lack pace. It's usually not the issue.
True.
Yeah, it's just so small details on maps like that.
Yeah. You need to push. Already now I can tell you that you need to push.
Without thousands this round between top
Yeah.
three.
Even push harder. Doesn't look too good.
Yeah, it wasn't enough, but you saved down, so I hate you.
I was just way too wide, and then I lost my overspeed with a penalty on the inside. Ah. Really didn't have a good feeling to get inside there at one part.
Down is the one that goes the most inside. But he stays ahead.
Either you go full inside or full outside. It's both kind of fast.
Yeah, when both works, then I also think that also middle works, like every line works. We probably only has
Doesn't
to...
really.
Yeah, also here, down is always the most inside, but somehow he keeps the speed. Like that's super weird.
What really can gain you a lot of time in the end is when you don't over-rotate when you land on the grass. I play with a wide car, yes. But Cabby car is even wider than mine. He plays 5-4. In Cam 2.
I mean, I also play kind of stretched with Cam 2. It works.
Yes, of course it works, but it's way more extreme than with Cam 1.
Yeah, true.
Like if you play Cam 1 for the speed, basically the distance you have for normal Cam 2.
Okay, final for me now.
Go, Lars!
Yeah.
Go down! Yeah! Yeah, speed, yes! Go, let's go down! Yes! Oh, hi Marius, how you doing?
I had also finals against Bren and against Loco, and I won against both, so down has it quite easy. I really thought that Loco would jump the way he approached the transition.
Dude. I messed up every single turn and he beat me by 5,000 in the last sector. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're too nervous.
Yeah, I don't know, just nothing worked there. Like already the first transition I jumped for some reason. Whatever. 5,000, it was close race I guess.
GG.
With respect to
Oh,
it.
yeah, that's GG.
Nice Loco.
Was actually winnable with my PB. Unfortunately.
Is there trivia for hating down? It's more a joke. But it started because he was...
It's not a joke anymore.
Yeah, just keep
No
telling
way
yourself.
No way, it's a joke.
It started because he came closer in the trophies, but there was actually no chance to stay ahead of him because he was easily getting more points as he was not getting that many trophies 1 year ago.
Super unfair.
But now it's also that we are tight in amount of Cup of the Day victories. And there was one victory by him against
he
me
is
with
definitely
2000.
more.
Well, In the reruns, he's
we
not that
call
successful.
reruns.
Since I play here the night reruns, I deny him quite often.
Yeah, that's why he only has 80 wins.
Yeah, that's why I started now.
Yeah,
So he
yeah,
stays
yeah.
at 80.
Exactly. Anyways.